Okay. Dr. John Kendall is with us today, and look at the entourage he hath brought us today. We have a whole crew, and they are all students in the Suzuki program at SIU Edwardsville, and I think, John, the first thing we better do is explain a little bit about the Suzuki method, because a lot of folks don't know.
Well, it's a method that Mr. Suzuki calls a mother language method, because the children learn to play a violin in much the same manner in which they learn to speak. That is, by listening over and over to the sounds, and by learning to play first and then read music later. And of course it involves the parents in a very important way.
Why in a very important way? What
well, because the children start at a very early age. And you could imagine a student like David here needs teachers and parents working together, and also he needs to practice at home with his parents. So they come to the lessons and they help him learn.
I see. Now, do they have records that they use to listen to?
Yes, they listen many, many times to the recording of each piece they're learning.
Mm-hmm. And I see. I was noticing, for example, David, just hold up your violin here. I want to show, let's show the difference between David's violin and yours, John. Now, yours is a full-size fiddle, and David's, is this the smallest they make, the Suzuki?
Well, they do make a smaller one, but really it's so small that hardly any children use it. This is a 16th size.
16th size. And this is David's first violin. Right. You'll be trading that in a couple of years, won't you, Dave? Sure. How long have you been studying, Dave? Can you tell me? About a year? Not that long? He plays, he just doesn't talk. Well, he can't talk, he doesn't have a microphone on. Why are we asking questions of David? He doesn't have a microphone on. John, I thought what we do, just to preface this a little bit, because many of the young people who were here 3 years ago, when at that time we did a concert series with the Kinder Concerts, remember? And they were on stage at Powell Symphony Hall, and then they were on the Colorama program on Saturday morning, and you'll see yourself. This is kind of a warm-up. I think this is your warm-up exercise that you play. We'll let you see how the youngsters get started. Here it is. Just roll it, Pat. Okay, there you are. That was 3 years ago, and in just a minute or so, we're going to have them all lined up in our studio now and let you hear a little of what they're doing with the Suzuki program right now. Okay? Be right back. Come on, guys. We're going to go over there and get lined up again. Come on.
Hey.
Okay, here we are. We're all lined up, and John, I'll just get out of the way and let you do. What would you like to have them play first?
Well, why don't we start with sort of the theme song of this movement, which is a variation of Twinkle Twinkle, and they can all play this.
Okay.
Will we just begin with that?
I'll get out of the way. You play Twinkle Twinkle.
Okay.
Now we've got that. What's the next step?
Well, why don't we take a big jump to a concerto that's quite familiar, a Vivaldi concerto.
All right.
We'll just play part of that.
Very
Okay?
good. Thank you.
Okay.
That's terrific, kids. Just come on in here, John.
Okay.
We're stepping on the chords and everything. I thought perhaps you said that they had a little individual thing that people might like to see.
Yes, well, maybe you'd like to ask David what his favorite tune is, and maybe he'd play
David,
it for you.
what's your favorite tune? Would you play a little bit for me? Okay, here, I'll just get out of the way, and you play that for me, David. All right?
Oh, we had a catastrophe violins going out of place.
Oh, gee, yeah.
All right.
Out-of-tune violin, eh, David? Sounds like a hen scratching there for a minute. We'll get it fixed.
There you go, David.
Okay, Dad.
On your chin. That's the boy. Good.
Okay, terrific.
Thank you. Go.
Let's hear it for Dave. All right. Terrific. Hey, Tiger, that was really good. Yeah, that's marvelous. Now, you have another young man who wanted to play a little...
Yes, David was in the clip that we just showed.
Oh, all right.
So he's been growing, and so why don't you play part of the Mendelssohn? We'll just stop after the first part.
Dave, all right. My golly, that's terrific. We've got about 4 more minutes, John.
Okay.
Do you have something that we could do? But before we do that, I'd like to remind all the folks that if you have youngsters and they're interested in music, and you as a parent would like to see them do it and do it right and well, if you're interested in the Suzuki method, you might call the SIU Edwardsville campus, and here's the telephone number that you can call. We'll put it on the screen here for you in just a moment. And there it is. It's 618-692-2900. 2839, and if you want to, you can just leave the number there so that those who are interested can have a crack at it. What can they play there?
Well, we've got a Handel Bourrée. We could play the first part of that. We can play for an hour.
Oh, I know you can. Unfortunately, we don't have a whole hour.
So why don't we play that?
A Handel Bourrée?
Yes.
All right, I'll get out of the way, and kids go at it. Come on in here, John. We're going to just park here for a couple of minutes. I want to find out, were you in the first group? Yeah. Were you in the first group? Did you see yourself on that first tape? Yeah. Did you? Have you changed at all?
Yeah, a lot.
I thought so. It's fun to do that, though, and I'm going to keep that tape. And when you're 36, we want you to come back and play for us again, all right? John, come on in here a second. Right. While we're talking about this program, from its very inception, which was how many years ago?
Well, on our, you mean in this country?
Yeah, for you at SIU Edwards.
Oh, about 12 years ago.
About 12 years. And you started with how many students?
Oh, 3 or 4.
Yeah, and now you're up to how many students?
About 200.
That's a lot of folks.
That's a lot.
And the success rate that you found, is it a good success rate, for example, for the people who enjoy playing the violin or whatever? And is this relegated just to violin, or do they have cello or violin or piano or what?
Well, I think the principles will apply to any instrument. Our program emphasizes violin and cello, but many teachers are trying this with piano and so on. But as you know, our objective is not to train hundreds and thousands of professional musicians.
Violinists.
But at the same time, we hope that out of this group, there will be some successful artists emerge. And already some of our group are playing in orchestras such as the St. Louis Philharmonic and the St. Louis Youth Orchestra and so on.
And of course, the interest and the continued interest and enjoyment of music is most important. Thank you very much. Enjoyed having you all with us today, kids. And anytime you want to come back, just tell John you want to come, okay? And we'll be back with more right after this.